This morning, former Oregon Secretary of State Bill Bradbury has passed away. Bradbury was the Oregon Secretary of State from 1999 to 2009. Before that, he served as a state representative for 14 years. He also ran for Oregon governor in 2010, but lost to John Kitzhaber. Current Secretary of State Shemia Fagan tweeted about Bradbury late last night. She said, in part, "I will miss his wisdom, mentorship, and humor. May he rest in the peace of the lasting legacy he leaves Oregon." Governor Tina Kotek also tweeted out condolences, calling Bradbury a true warrior for the environment and a kind man. Senator Ron Wyden tweeted that Bradbury battled MS with his trademark relentless optimism and will be hugely missed. Bradbury was 73 years old.